I don't think anyone had any clue what was going on.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened.
What the chemical spill taught us is that water is extremely valuable, and we just often take it for granted because we have so much of it.
This event started on Twitter with Governor Earl Ray Tomlin's initial tweet a little after 5:30 that day. And it became a Twitter event. It became a social media event. And I think it's one of the best examples I've seen of the way social media very quickly engages large numbers of people and can give quick snippets of information, updates to a continuing story in a very effective way.
My roommate at the time flushed the pipes, and I remember coming home and getting ready to take the first shower, and that smell was everywhere. And they told us that it would be there, but I think that everyone, at least myself, was a little reluctant. It was a matter of necessity, though. It had been days, and it's not like I could jump in the car and just drive away out of town to go find some water to use. So I would say it wasn't, if there was any trust involved, there was certainly a level of reluctance. There's no question about that.
Viewers weren't believing what they were hearing and what they were seeing because there had been that confusion in the beginning, and because there had been some mixed messaging early on and then throughout the rest of the process. And when that trust is broken, it's very difficult to regain that. And that was the biggest problem I think we faced, not only during the crisis, but months and months and months after.
But what we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious, serious situation, and not one that's just, environmentalists care about it. Everybody cares about it. Citizens care about it. Businesses care about it. It's wildly important to us, and we see it when we realize it when it's gone or when it's not available to us. That was the first thing that the chemical spill told us, is just how valuable it is.
This was not handled well, in my opinion, at multiple levels. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact we were in uncharted territory. Some of it, I think, of our own making, some of it not. This was a chemical that we knew about and had been a part of the coal industry and the cleaning process for a number of years, but had not been studied very extensively. So we didn't have a lot of information from the scientific community to start with to know, what are the effects? What are the potential hazards? What should we be telling people? And not just as the media, but what should the Department of Public Health be telling people? What should the water company be telling people? And so there was a scrambling at the beginning to just gather information to share.
Well, I think about this all the time. It's Charleston, West Virginia, right? What does someone in New York City care about what happens in Charleston? Maybe not much. But if something like this would have happened in New York City, the entire world would have been paying attention to it. And they would have been hungry for every detail. Granted, part of that's a matter of scale and population and how many people were affected, but it's still a third of a million people. 300,000 is a gigantic number.
We didn't know what the protocols and procedures were for shutting down a water plant of the size of West Virginia American Water's facility near Charleston along the Elk River. And it took asking questions, investigative reporting, a real sort of dogged determination to find those answers in order to get there. I think now, knowing what we know from that event, moving forward, we can apply a lot of those principles.